The kid threw himself on the ground and started screaming like I'd shot him. 1 second, I'm just a regular guy, standing there in my faded jeans and beat-up boots, trying to figure out why a teenage boy is skulking around my cabin. Next thing you know, he's writhing in the gravel by my gate, clutching his ankle and howling for help, putting on a show like he's up for an Oscar. I'm frozen, part of me thinking, did I just walk onto a hidden camera prank set? But before I can even process what's happening, I hear the unmistakable roar of an expensive SUV barreling up my driveway, and every ounce of confusion in my bones turns to dread, because here comes his mother, flying out the driver's side door, designer suit and all, looking like she's ready to go to war. Let me back up a sec. Life in Pine Valley was supposed to be my happy ending. After 3 decades busting my back in construction, swinging hammers, wrangling contractors, pinching every penny, I'd finally stashed away enough to buy a little slice of heaven. A modest cabin right on the lake, peeling paint, crooked mailbox, battered old truck parked out front. Nothing fancy, but it was all mine. My days were slow and peaceful. Coffee on the porch, tinkering with little repairs, chatting with Mrs. Patterson about her cats, and the next neighborhood barbecue. Simple joys, you know? The kind of quiet most people only dream about after a life spent working. But that Tuesday, everything changed. I was out fixing a loose board on the deck, and this kid shows up, walking the edge of my property line. Nice clothes, perfect haircut, probably a year away from college. He walks past, circles back, does it again, glancing at my cabin like he's casing the place. My construction gut starts pinging. You work job sites for long enough, you get a nose for when something's off, and this kid had trouble written all over him. By the 3rd lap, I'm watching him like a hawk. Sure enough, he stops right at my gate. Now, I don't have a fence worthy of a movie ranch, just a simple wooden gate, enough to say, private property. Keep out. He looks both ways, checks his phone, then reaches for the latch. That's when I step in. Hey, bud, can I help you with something? He freezes, caught like a raccoon in a trash can, and for a split second I almost laugh. Until, out of nowhere, he just drops to the ground, yelping about his ankle like I'd tackled him. Oh God, I think I broke something. Please help. And I'm thinking, is this for real? But you know what? My old man raised me to help people, no matter how weird the situation feels, so I kneel down beside him, try to check his ankle. He's wincing, breathing hard, but keeps glancing at his phone, like he's recording me or waiting for a cue. He hits me with the most innocent look. Sorry, sir. I was just trying to cut through to the hiking trail. Please don't tell my mom. She'll kill me if she finds out I was trespassing. Almost convincing. Almost. Against my better judgment, I help him up and sit him on my porch, grab an ice pack, try to do the Good Samaritan thing. He keeps repeating everything I say, loud, clear, like he wants it on tape. Don't worry, accidents happen. I'm not going to get you in trouble, I tell him, and he just echoes it back with big puppy dog eyes. That's when the black SUV storms up my drive, gravel spitting everywhere. Out jumps his mom, Nicole Nelson, as I'd soon learn, perfectly put together, but looking like she could bite through rebar. The kid instantly switches gears, limping harder, voice quivering. Mom, I'm okay, but this man grabbed me when I got too close. I tried to get away and fell. I barely get a word out before Nicole's in my face, accusing me of luring her honor student onto my land and attacking him. She's dialing 911 before I can finish a sentence, and within 15 minutes, Officer Davis is standing on my front steps, eyeing me like I'm public enemy number 1. Nicole's in full performance mode, shaking Davis's hand, introducing herself as HOA president, rattling off her resume like she's on the campaign trail. The kid shows off his injury, plays a recording, my voice, out of context, saying all the right things, none of the before or after. Davis asks for my side, but it's obvious I've already been judged by my faded flannel and busted knuckles. Nicole is quick. If you're willing to compensate Kevin for his medical expenses and trauma, let's say $15,000, we might be able to resolve this quietly. My jaw hits the floor. 15 grand for helping a kid who was trespassing and faking it? Not a chance. I tell her, maybe a bit too loud. Nicole's eyes go cold. Well then, officer, we'll pursue this through official channels. That evening, she calls an emergency HOA meeting. The whole neighborhood turns up, and Nicole orchestrates a kangaroo court. She presents her case like a prosecutor, plays Kevin's recording. Even Officer Davis testifies to my hostility. My protests are drowned out by angry voices, neighbors I barely know looking at me like I'm a monster. The vote: $5,000 in emergency assessments plus daily $100 fines until I comply with community standards. The math is simple. Nicole wants to squeeze me until I crack, or until the threat of criminal charges or financial ruin breaks me. For days, it's a blitz. Mailbox too close to the curb, $200 fine, grass too long. Another $200, garden hose in the wrong spot. Unsightly storage, wrong color doormat, every petty thing you can imagine. I'm getting violation letters faster than I can open them. By Thursday, I'm so desperate I call Nicole, agree to meet. I even bring a cashier's check for $15,000, thinking maybe I can just end this. But she ups her demand to $25,000, with a folder full of medical bills and therapy sessions. While I'm trying not to choke, I overhear an elderly couple at the next table whispering. That Nelson woman got $3,000 from us last year when her son slipped on our walk. Suddenly, it hits me. This isn't her first rodeo. I back out fast, my mind racing. The next week, I start quietly asking around. Most folks are scared to talk, but Mrs. Clark, a widow from 3 streets over, tells me Nicole ran the same scam on her. Threats, lawsuits, demands for thousands to settle quietly. Same story, different target. Turns out, Nicole's been targeting anyone she thinks can't afford a fight. Young couples, retirees, people with old cars or houses that look lived in. She's been at this for years. I start documenting everything, snapping photos, logging every violation and threat, building a file, because if I'm going down swinging. But Nicole counters, filing harassment charges against me for intimidating residents. My public defender all but shrugs. If you can't prove your side, you should take a plea. I'm this close to giving up. Maybe sell the cabin, pay the woman off, disappear. But then something changes. Kevin, the kid, shows up one night, looking like he hasn't slept in a month. Mr. Stone, I need to tell you something, but I'm scared of what my mom will do. Turns out, Nicole's been coaching him for years, training him to fake falls, teaching him to spot targets, and even threatening him if he doesn't play along. He's terrified, but he's got a stash of recordings, evidence, a digital diary of Nicole's schemes, everything from her prepping him to threaten neighbors, to her plotting with a buddy at the county office to get my property seized cheap at auction. That night, Kevin risks everything, meeting me at the old playground, hands shaking, scared to death, but determined to set things right. He tells me Nicole's planning to use the next HOA meeting to force a vote to seize my place. He gives me copies of some recordings, proof that this isn't just a misunderstanding. This is a full-blown criminal racket. The next day, Nicole's circling my house like a shark, her SUV idling across the street. But the evening of the HOA meeting, the mood's changed. Nicole's got her charts, her recordings, her evidence of my danger to the community, but I stand up, folder in hand, and lay out what I've gathered: bank records, victim statements, HOA financials showing payments to Nicole's consulting company for bogus projects. And then Kevin stands up, right in front of the whole community, in front of his own mother, and confesses everything. I lied. My mom made me do it. She's been running this scam for years. The kid's shaking, tears running down his face, but he's brave as hell. He even plays the smoking gun recording. Nicole's voice, cold and smug. Poor people never fight back because they can't afford lawyers. That old man with the junk truck, he'll pay rather than risk jail time. The room is dead silent. Nicole tries to spin it, calls Kevin unstable, blames me, claims the tapes are fake, but nobody's buying it anymore. Officer Davis is called, and this time he's not shaking my hand. He's cuffing Nicole, reading her rights. The neighbors who wouldn't make eye contact days ago are apologizing, bringing casseroles, looking shell-shocked. In court, Nicole's mask finally shatters. She rages at the judge, claims she improved everyone's life, spits pure venom at the people she'd spent years squeezing. Her lawyer tries to spin it, but Kevin's testimony, painful, raw, honest, tips the scales. The jury finds her guilty on every count. 5 years in state prison, $50,000 restitution, and banned from holding any HOA power ever again. Watching her house go at auction to pay her victims is the sweetest moment of poetic justice I've ever seen. Funny thing, though, out of the ashes, Pine Valley becomes a real community. Neighbors who barely spoke before are sharing dinners, helping each other out. Kevin sticks around, puts his life back together, goes to college for social work, dedicates himself to protecting people from exactly this kind of abuse. The laws change. HOAs everywhere are forced to be more transparent. My cabin stays my home, but now it's also a symbol that sometimes the little guy wins. So yeah, sometimes the villain falls. But not because someone stronger showed up, because the truth finally came out. One brave kid stood up, and an ordinary guy refused to be bullied off his land. Ever been underestimated because of your truck, your bank account, your plain old self? Sometimes that's your secret weapon. Justice doesn't always come easy, but man, when it does, it's worth every damn bruise. Now I gotta ask, what would you do if you found out your neighbor was running a scam like this? Ever been on the wrong side of an HOA showdown? Tell me in the comments. Let's get real about what community should actually mean.